In a world where true connection is a rare treasure, it becomes painfully clear how often we encounter those who wear the mask of concern, but whose intentions are hollow and self-serving. They act like they care, smiling with familiarity, speaking words that echo warmth, but beneath the surface, they are silently using your kindness as a resource to be drained, your trust as a bridge to cross for their own gain. This subtle form of exploitation is difficult to recognize because it wears the guise of friendship, love, or support. Yet Stoicism teaches us that wisdom begins with clear perception. To distinguish the genuine from the false, the nourishing from the toxic. It is this clarity that allows us to reclaim our energy and protect the sanctity of our inner peace. If you've ever found yourself emotionally depleted after interactions that felt one-sided, or trapped in a cycle of guilt and confusion, this video is for you. These 7 signs are not mere observations. They are urgent warnings from your soul, signaling that you are giving too much to those who do not honor your spirit. By learning to recognize these red flags through the lens of Stoic philosophy, you will not only safeguard your well-being, but also cultivate the courage to walk away from what harms you, embracing instead the freedom that comes from living aligned with virtue and self-respect. Before we dive deeper, if you are committed to rising above manipulation and living with unshakable purpose, subscribe to Beyond the Vision Mindset and join this journey of empowerment and clarity. 1. They only show up when they need something. The first sign of being used under the pretense of care is a pattern of presence that revolves exclusively around their own needs. These individuals appear in your life like clockwork, but only when there is something they require. They vanish when you face your own struggles, leaving you alone with your burdens. The Stoics remind us that authentic relationships are grounded in mutual support and reciprocity. Marcus Aurelius taught that we must be wary of relationships rooted solely in utility, for such connections erode the soul's tranquility and distract us from the pursuit of virtue. When someone treats your kindness as a resource to be tapped on demand, they reduce you to a tool, not a human companion. This exploitation, though subtle, chips away at your self-worth and leaves you drained. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward liberation. Reflect on whether your interactions feed your spirit or deplete it. Ask yourself, does this person show interest in my well-being beyond their convenience? If the answer is no, it is time to reconsider the role they play in your life. In reclaiming your energy, you honor the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature, where your time and presence are sacred, not commodities for exploitation. 2. They guilt you when you set boundaries. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, yet it is often met with resistance from those who wish to maintain control over us. When you declare your limits, and they respond with guilt, manipulation, or emotional blackmail, you face a profound test of your inner strength. Stoicism teaches that peace is born of living in harmony with reason and accepting what lies within our control, including the boundaries we set to protect our minds and hearts. Those who guilt you when you protect your space reveal their true intentions. They seek to extend their influence over you by eroding your autonomy. Epictetus reminds us that we should make the best use of what is in our power, and take the rest as it happens. Your boundaries are within your power, they are the fortress of your tranquility. When others resent them, it is not a reflection of your failure, but of their unwillingness to respect your sovereignty. Do not sacrifice your inner peace to maintain their comfort. Embrace the courage to hold firm, knowing that those who truly care will honor your limits and never guilt you for protecting what is yours. 3. They praise you, but only to control you. Flattery can be intoxicating, a balm to our ego that feels like love and acceptance. Yet, within manipulative relationships, praise often serves a darker purpose. Control. When compliments become a currency for compliance, they no longer uplift but bind you. Seneca warns that craving approval above integrity impoverishes the soul. True care does not seek to own you through words, it frees you through truth. Observe carefully when praise feels conditional, appearing only when you align with their desires or expectations. This is not admiration, it is a transaction. Their words may make you feel seen, but they are not rooted in genuine appreciation. Instead, they serve to deepen your dependence on their approval, subtly steering your choices and dampening your true voice. Stoicism calls us to cultivate an inner citadel, a fortress of self-worth that does not rely on external validation. When you recognize praise as manipulation, you reclaim your power and choose the freedom of authenticity over the chains of flattery. 4. They downplay your pain, but expect you to carry theirs. A cornerstone of Stoic justice is balance and fairness in all interactions. When someone minimizes your struggles while expecting you to bear the full weight of their pain, they violate this principle profoundly. This dynamic places you in a position of emotional caretaker without reciprocity, creating an imbalance that drains your spirit and distorts the relationship. Marcus Aurelius advised that a wise person does not act as if he were destined to live forever. This wisdom calls us to recognize that our emotional energy is finite and must be protected. When someone cannot meet you in your suffering, but demands you attend to theirs, they reveal their lack of empathy and respect. Such relationships do not nurture growth. They breed resentment and exhaustion. True connection is not one-sided. It is a shared space where vulnerability is met with compassion and equal care. Protect your soul by refusing to carry burdens that are not yours to bear. 5. They make you feel responsible for their emotions. One of the central pillars of Stoicism is the understanding that we alone govern our emotions and responses. If someone seeks to place the weight of their emotional well-being on your shoulders, they reject this fundamental truth and use you as a scapegoat for their internal disorder. This tactic is a subtle form of emotional enslavement, designed to bind you to their moods and demands. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. No one has the right to impose their emotional state on you or hold you accountable for their feelings. Recognizing this allows you to disentangle yourself from toxic responsibility and reclaim your freedom. You can care without carrying. You can listen without absorbing. You can offer support without sacrificing your own equilibrium. This is the Stoic path to emotional resilience, maintaining compassion without surrendering your autonomy. 6. They twist your kindness into weakness. Kindness is one of the most noble virtues, yet it is vulnerable to misinterpretation by those who seek to exploit it. When your compassion becomes a gateway for others to test your limits repeatedly, pushing boundaries, asking favors without gratitude, or dismissing your needs, you face the painful reality that your virtue is being mistaken for weakness. The Stoics revered courage not only as physical bravery but as moral fortitude, the courage to protect one's integrity and walk away when virtue is disrespected. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." Sometimes the bravest act of kindness is to say no. To detach yourself from those who mistake your generosity for vulnerability is an act of self-preservation, not betrayal. By holding firm to your values and refusing exploitation, you embody the true strength of kindness tempered by wisdom. 7. They act like the victim when you speak your truth. To live according to Stoic principles means to speak with clarity and integrity, even when it unsettles others. Yet when you begin to voice your boundaries or express your discomfort, manipulators often react by casting themselves as victims. This tactic shifts blame, distorts reality, and undermines your truth. It is a defense mechanism designed to silence you and maintain their control. Marcus Aurelius counseled that we should be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Your truth, spoken calmly and firmly, is your cliff. Do not allow their theatrics or gaslighting to erode your confidence. The user fears your clarity because it threatens their power. Hold fast to your convictions, knowing that your peace lies in honesty and self-respect, not in the approval of those who benefit from your silence. In conclusion, the most dangerous form of harm is not from overt enemies, but from those who disguise exploitation as care. The Stoics teach us that virtue, wisdom, and peace are found in the courage to see clearly, set firm boundaries, and walk away when necessary. You do not owe your energy to those who confuse kindness with obedience or love with control. If this message has resonated with you, please take a moment to share it with others who might be silently struggling with the same challenges. Subscribe to Beyond the Vision Mindset for more wisdom and strength to help you live with clarity and purpose. Your journey towards self-mastery is not just about endurance. It is about rising, thriving, and protecting the sacredness of your spirit. If you feel moved by this content and want to support the work that goes into creating these videos, work that is dedicated to uplifting and encouraging your growth, consider buying me a coffee through the basic support or emojis. Your appreciation fuels this mission, and making these deep, transformative videos is no small effort. Thank you for being part of this journey. Together, we rise.